The words that stung the most were when they called him a mama's boy, especially because his grandmother was Princess Diana. In the middle of the afternoon, the sun was shining brightly, making the wide green gardens look beautiful. Families were enjoying themselves with sounds of laughter, music, and the smell of fresh cakes in the air. Parents were relaxing under a white tent, having tea and chatting. The children were playing nearby, being watched but mostly free to play and have fun. The event was meant to be a peaceful gathering filled with elegance and traditional customs. But then, a surprising event occurred. What began as an enjoyable afternoon took a dark turn. At first, it was just a friendly football game with some pushing and raised voices. It appeared harmless initially, but then Camilla's eldest grandchild started targeting George, making cruel remarks about his walk, acting superior, and ridiculing his clothing. These words were hurtful and hostile. Despite being just 11 years old, Prince George knew how to stay calm in public. But this behavior felt targeted and mean-spirited. The insults went beyond just making fun of how he looked or his status as a prince. They became more hurtful and bothered him. When George tried to walk away, they kept following him, mocking his skills and sarcastically calling him special. The words that stung the most were when they called him a mama's boy, especially because his grandmother was Princess Diana. The staff quickly stepped in, separating the kids and quietly taking George to a car with a bodyguard to avoid any cameras catching what happened. Even though George received help in a calm and cautious manner, the harm had already been done as he sat in the car silently crying. After the event was over and they returned to Adelaide Cottage, Catherine took matters into her hands. She had a personal discussion with George, just the two of them, without any staff or interruptions, only as a mother and son. She requested that he tell her everything. At first, George was hesitant. However, he eventually began to open up. He shared with her about the cruel jokes, insults, ridicule of his father, and hurtful remarks about Diana. Catherine carefully listened to George's words, and as she heard more, she became more serious. Her face went from calm to determined, showing a strong sense of protectiveness. It was a quiet but forceful kind of anger, like a mother's strength. She firmly stated that it must end now.